Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Tourette's podcast. I'm Brittany Wolf.
And I'm Janelle. And we have a very special guest today. Brittany, would you like to introduce our guests since you know them?
Yes, this is Anthony. And Anthony, before I butcher it, I'm going to go ahead and let you say your first and last name.
Yeah, no worries. My name's Anthony Giamalva. Yeah, it's
Oh,
a big one. It's a big last name.
I was going to be pretty close, but I don't think I saw the L for some reason. So I would have skipped that part.
yeah.
No
That's cool.
worries. No worries.
Giamalva.
Yeah. I'm
Well,
Italian descent, so yeah. So we got
Nice.
long last names.
okay, very nice. Well, Anthony, if you want to go ahead and tell everybody a little bit about yourself, and maybe a little bit about your background with Tourette syndrome or tics or anything like that, real quick, and then we can go ahead and dive in.
Yeah, sure. Thanks so much, Brittany. So when I was about fourth or fifth grade, I was diagnosed with a mild case of Tourette syndrome. And when that happened, I didn't really know what Tourette syndrome was. No one in my family had ever had it.
Hmm.
Um, so I remember as a kid, I would have like these throat clearing tics, or like I would blink really fast, different tics like that I grew out of. Thankfully, I feel like I'm lucky and blessed. I don't have many tics today. I remember the doctor saying to me and my dad in the appointment that it's a high chance that he grows out a lot of his tics. So I still have little things. I still do like my throat clearing, or I'll still do things with like my eyes, or different things like I don't know if you have like mental tics. I feel like I have like mental tics where I do things, or I'll have to
Hmm.
like check that my door's locked like multiple times, even though I know it's locked. Like I feel like that's like one of the tics I've gone over time. But um, yeah, so I've been really lucky and blessed. Like when I started coming out as telling people I had Tourette's about my cycling, like people were kind of shocked that I even had it, because it's not really noticeable unless you really like look at me all day.
Hmm.
So yeah, I feel really lucky that I don't have too many tics that really affect my day to day. But yeah, I the reason what I'm doing is I'll be cycling across the country for Tourette syndrome, because even at a young age, when I was going through these different tics and learning about Tourette syndrome, I always had in the back of my mind, like, I want to do something to try and fundraise for Tourette syndrome. I wanted to do something. And then, like 5 years ago, I got the idea to cycle across the country, because, it's something that's pretty difficult. And I want people to,
Yeah.
be somewhat impressed with it so that they would donate. And so, yeah, that's kind of how I got going with Tourette's Association of America. They were awesome. I reached out and they emailed me right back and said, wow, like we love what you're doing. And yeah, so it's kind of been growing ever since. So,
That's amazing. So you've been
Yeah.
training for 5 years then for this?
oh, no, no.
Oh,
I had the idea. So, like, I had the idea about 5 years ago. And then
Mm.
February of 2023, I finally, like, I was like, I want to make this happen. So I finally went out and bought a bike. So I've been training for about 2 years. So next month will be 2 years. Um, yeah. So when I first got my first bike, I could barely ride like 2 miles, right? I was like huffing and puffing, and I couldn't even go up a hill. But now
Mm.
I'm, doing 50-mile rides every
wow.
weekend, and I've done over 100-mile rides. So I'm just trying to get in the best shape possible. So because I know this is going to be like the hardest thing I probably physically will ever have to do.
Hmm.
But I want to be able to enjoy it as well. It's going to be really, I think, beautiful scenery and things like that. But I don't want to be worrying about being out of shape when I'm doing this. So because I know it's going to be hard enough being in shape. So I train as much as I can. So for about 2 years I've been training.
Wow. Yeah, I'm still in that beginning part that you were talking about where going up a hill is pretty difficult for me on a bicycle. I
Yeah.
thought I thought I'd be good at bike riding. So when we got our like exercise bike or whatever,
Hmm.
I'm like, I got this. I mean, I danced for 20 years. I'm like, I have
Wow.
strong legs. I do. I have strong legs,
Right.
but apparently there's very different muscle groups that are used. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I feel
That are
very weak.
impacted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I learned how to ride a bike late. No, I won't say late. I was probably like 12 or 13. And then I only rode it like twice. And then I never rode it again until I was older.
Mm.
Um, and then I realized I forgot how to ride a bike, which is, I guess, a thing. Because you never forget how to ride a bike. But
Yeah.
maybe I didn't learn good enough the first couple times.
Were you
So,
self-taught, or did someone help teach you ride a bike?
it was like a help teach type of thing. But then the two times I rode, it's kind of this thing where it's like the last thing I remember like riding the bike is like I didn't have the confidence there, you know? If I realized I'm
Right.
about to run into something, like I didn't have the confidence to be like, oh, like brake or oh, turn. Like I would just
Right.
see it. And yeah, not trying to admit this in case anybody, from my old neighborhood finds it, but I did run into your rearview mirror, whoever you were on that one street. I did. I saw it happening. We were kind of going downhill. There was nothing I could do. And people were like, brake, turn, something. And I just didn't. And then I hit it. And then I fell off my bike. And then I got up and walked away
Oh
because,
no.
you
When you
know,
were a kid, weren't you?
yeah, I was like 12 or 13.
Yeah.
So,
So, I mean, I
yeah,
think the statute of limitations has passed, so
maybe, yeah. But that's
you
like
probably
the
don't have
last thing
that
I
car
remember.
anymore.
Yeah.
Like
Was
I
it the
did.
bike where you pedal backwards to stop? One of those bikes?
Yes. Or
Yeah.
I think I had this as well. I don't know, like
Oh,
on
okay.
the handle. I just clearly was not confident enough to be like, "Oh, you can move. Like you're on a bike, you can turn or you can stop." Like I just saw it and I just literally like a movie where you see them go, "Ah!" and then they just yeah, that was that. So, I guess never really gained the confidence in the first place. So I guess I'm not surprised that I forgot how to ride a bike or not forgot, but
I
did
believe in you.
not have
You
the
can do
muscle
it. You
memory
can get back
down.
into it. You can get back into it. Trust me. Because once you get like pretty good at it, it gets really addicting. It's almost like therapeutic. I just like listening to the birds chirping, people talking, and then you run into other cyclists. And it's a great workout for sure. I mean,
Mm.
it's
Oh,
it's
yeah,
just
it
kind of
is.
addicting for sure.
Do you
Yeah.
find that it does help? So I know you said that you don't have a lot of, you still have some of your ticks, but not a ton of
Mhm.
them. But like maybe on the days where they're worse or anything like that, do you feel like the bike riding helps you with that? Do you
Oh
experience
yeah.
less or no ticks, I guess, when you ride your bike?
Oh yeah, like when I'm riding, I'm just kind of in my own zone. I'm always cognizant of cars and
Yeah.
everything that's happening around me, but yeah, I feel like I don't have any ticks, especially even when I go to the gym or I'm running. I feel like it's such a great way to just, escape from ticks and things like that. But yeah, I don't even think about it when I'm on my bike for sure.
Hmm,
Yeah,
that's
because I'm
amazing.
so I'm so just focused on like changing my gears or trying to get to the next mile, things like that,
Mhm.
or get to my next water break. If I have an area in my mind where I want to get my water, so I'm just always focused on just my bike and my destination. So I don't even have time to think about ticks, which is it's really just kind of a therapy for me. So
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, see
yeah.
the gears and stuff. I have a bike. I have a decent bike because my husband and I
Mm.
rode for a little
Okay.
bit in the summer and it has all the gears, but I don't even really understand. Like, I think I know, like, you want to go less of a gear uphill and stronger one downhill.
Right.
Oh,
I'm
look
I'm
at
s-
that. I
yeah.
remember.
I'm self-taught, so I don't know really what the gears are all called or anything, but
Yeah.
I think you're on the right track. Yeah. As
Yeah.
long as you
Well,
have
I mean, I
less
haven't ridden
resistance
it,
downhill.
rode. I haven't been on it. And
There you go.
like, I didn't get on it at all last summer. We realized that at the end of summer. So maybe this summer we'll get back to it.
Yeah, definitely. My first bike, I remember I didn't learn till I was like Janelle, like a little bit later, like I think I was 11 or 12. My mom bought me this bike from like the thrift store, and I remember getting on it and just falling off, and then I would just balance myself on this tree we had in our backyard, and then after like probably like 3 or 4 days, I was finally able to ride. So
Mm.
yeah, but my bike
Nice.
now is it's a lot more reliable than that first one. So
If you're, I don't, I mean, I guess you'll get to tell us a little bit more about your plans, Anthony, about going around the country and when you're stopping and stuff like that. But yeah, how do you deal with how
Yeah.
do you have to adjust and deal with bike riding in like weather conditions? Whether that's the rain and you're getting poured on and things are slick, or it's super windy and now you're like fighting against the wind, or the wind is trying to push you, push you a certain way, or like how do you deal with that? Because I mean, it's one thing to train stamina wise in general, like in weather you're used to. But as you go across America, it's going to be different climates, different humidities, different heat indexes, different everything. So
I never even thought about that for some
yeah,
reason. Great
how do you
question.
how do you train for that?
no, yeah, great question, great point. So in Southern California, we have everything. Well, we do have the snow, but it doesn't snow where I live. But we do have really cold rain, really cold weather. So I've trained in. I remember doing one ride. It was 50 miles just in the rain,
Mm.
and that was one day I definitely didn't want to get
You're
out of
so
bed. But
dedicated.
yeah, I was like, it's going to be raining. Yeah, like Jonelle was saying, it's going to be raining in the middle of the U.S., so I got to get used to it. So I've been riding in the rain. I've been riding in the blistering heat, in the summer where it's, 98, 100, super early in the morning when it's freezing cold. I've been riding in the middle of the night. So I've been riding all kinds of temperatures and weather patterns and things like that. And this past weekend, we still had a lot of those heavy winds from the fires and
Mhm.
everything like that. So I was going into the wind. Luckily, I didn't. One time I actually pulled a muscle. That was like a year ago because I just was cycling into the wind, and I learned that I need to kind of just take a break and go a little bit slower into the wind. But I feel pretty prepared because I've cycled in weather as cold as 30 degrees, like high 30s, and then
Mm.
freezing cold rain. I remember one ride. I was really proud of myself because I made it all the way to. I usually get lunch on my ride, so I made it all the way to the Chick-fil-A. And it was like pouring rain, and then I was just freezing the whole time, like eating my food. And then I went into this like Best Buy, like the waiting area, and I was just contemplating, okay, do I just Uber home? Because it's just pouring rain, it's freezing. But I made it all the way home, and I was like really proud of
Man.
myself. So I feel like I kind of have that standard for myself not to quit and to just keep going. And when it got really hot this summer, I just kept going. Like wisely, I'll take breaks. I bring enough water and everything like that. But I'm pretty proud of myself for not having ever quitting a training session because of the weather. So I feel pretty prepared.
Yeah.
Hopefully, God willing, there's no like crazy like tornadoes or anything like that happening.
Oof.
But if there's some rain, I'm going to push through that for sure. Or super hot weather, I'm going to definitely push through that.
Yeah. So remind us, or and everybody listening, like where do you have like a certain path in mind?
Oh
Like
yeah.
I know you have a starting point and an end point, but is there like certain states you're specifically trying to go through? Or I'm assuming you have to have that mapped out so you have somewhat of a plan.
No, yeah, absolutely. Great question. So it's going to be San Diego to St. Augustine, Florida. So it's going to go through, obviously California and then goes into Arizona, New Mexico. Texas is like, gosh, I want to say one third of it. It's so big.
Yeah.
Texas. And then we go into Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. On the map, I don't know how we bypass Georgia, or maybe we just go through Georgia a little bit, and then I believe Florida is right after. So it's called the southern tier of the United States.
Mm.
So it's
Okay.
all the southern states. So yeah, it's about
Mm,
3,000
interesting.
miles. It's gonna take me 45 days total, 40 riding days with 5 days off, so 45 days total.
Only
Gonna
5 days
average
off?
Wait, yeah.
5 days off. Yeah, five.
That's it?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my
And then
gosh.
I'm going to be averaging 80 to 100 miles a day. 80 to 100 miles a day. So it's going to be really hard, but I think one of the coolest things I'll probably ever do. So that's why I've been training
What?
for so hard.
I'm sorry.
Sean
It's
L is
just I
Let me
flabbergasted.
go
just
back.
opened a range of more questions. I'm just gonna blurt a few out.
Sure.
When does he use the bathroom? Does
Yeah.
he stop to eat?
Do you
Does he
sleep?
stop at random hotels to sleep? What if somebody on the news finds out and wants to interview you? Are they going to jog while you ride? What if something happens and you encounter an animal and something happens to your bike? Like, I'm just like, I don't.
Let me give you some more info.
Kudos to you, because, whoo.
So my original plan was to like just with a sleeping bag, like just do it on my own. And then I started researching and researching, and logistically, it just was a nightmare, right? Like, because I
Hmm.
would look at Google Maps and like, there would be all kinds of detours, and I just was like, man, like this is really hard to even map out to even go from state to state, let alone, yeah, where's my next water break? Where's my next hotel break?
Yeah.
Where can I camp out at? All these different things. So I am gonna be going with a guide, like a guided group. So there's going to be like a van that will follow us
Oh,
with yeah,
that's
they'll
nice.
carry like my luggage. So it's they're going to have like water breaks and like lunch breaks and stuff like that. So a lot of the folks going on the like guided trip, they're just doing it for like bucket list. So I'm the only one doing it for like, for charity and for Tourette's and like
Okay.
for my nephew as well. So it just gave me that peace of mind, like Janelle was saying, like where's my next hotel stay? I don't have to worry about
Hmm.
that. Like they do all the logistics. And so yeah, I'm going with a guide, so that kind of takes care of a lot of the potential issues that could arise for sure. Because my original
Okay.
goal was like it was just too much logistically for me to really to really do.
I
So
see. Yeah, in my head, I legit saw you just solo you riding. You know, like in like
yeah,
cartoons where they would show like the background and the person's pedaling, and then it would just change. Like I saw him going through like the deserts of Arizona to like,
yeah,
uh, you know, passing my city to like the
right,
swamps of Louisiana. To like, I'm like, how is he doing this by himself?
yeah.
I
Okay,
was
There'll
that
picturing
be
you by
there'll be
yourself
stretches.
too. I didn't have the
Yeah,
cartoon background in my mind, but I was definitely, but I did have like a desert in my background, in my mind for
yeah,
whatever reason. Like that's just how I pictured it the
yeah,
whole
yeah.
time.
yeah.
There will be stretches where I might be on my own and things like that, but I always have like someone behind me as far as like the van or whatever, so that just gives my family peace of mind as
Yeah,
Yeah.
well.
for
Hey, you
sure.
know, there's someone because you're right, like there will be a lot of desert, like Arizona, even California, New Mexico is gonna be a lot of desert. So I just didn't really want to have that issue of running out of water and things like that. So it's just way safer to go with a guide. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
yeah,
Because I was thinking like you sleeping, and I'm like, what do you do when you sleep? Like, I'd be so scared. I don't think I'd be able to sleep like because
right.
unless you like you're in like so I'm assuming does the guide stop at like certain like hotels, motels, something like that? You guys all sleep and then you keep going.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's all
Hmm.
included like for the price that like I paid them and stuff like that. So it's all like included with that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That is
Yeah.
cool. I don't know which city you're stopping at in Texas, but I will tell you, I will let you know.
Yeah.
Austin has a very big biking community.
Are are you in
So,
Austin?
no,
Oh,
but every time I visit, there's people on bikes everywhere. And even on the like main like highways, they're just like there's like a large like biking lane. It's a very big biking city. So,
okay. Cool.
if
But
you are going through Austin, just know you'll probably meet a lot of friends that are also on
Yeah.
bikes.
awesome. The cities that I've heard of in Texas that I go through is like El Paso, Austin, and then I'd have to look at it. But I don't recognize the other. I don't think there's anything bigger than Austin as far as like what we go through.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured because I was like, I don't think he's coming down to San Antonio where I'm at because that's like an hour and a half south. And why would you do that if you're trying to go?
Yeah, yeah, we're just
So,
straight across. Yeah.
yeah,
But Texas
gotcha.
is so massive that it's gonna take
Mm-hmm.
like several days just to get through Texas. I think even
Yeah.
over maybe a week, I'll be
I was
in.
gonna say I feel like it's over several days just to drive through Texas,
Right.
let alone bike ride.
People don't
Yeah,
realize how long and big Texas is. It's ridiculous.
yeah.
That's why I don't like road tripping, specifically because I'm like in the middle. I don't like it.
Well, I
Yeah.
heard there's gonna be a tons of hills in Texas, so every hill I
Mm,
live by, I try and
well, you're Austin. Yeah, that makes sense.
near Austin. Oh, okay.
This
Yeah,
is kind of
every
like
hill I live
upper
by, I
hill country.
try and do it. Definitely.
Yeah.
And so you said you're ending in St. Augustine, Florida?
St. Augustine, Florida. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So if anybody is listening that's part of our Trek community,
Mm-hmm.
maybe they need to, what date do you plan on stop or getting there? What's the end date for that?
I believe it was April 14th. Let me double
April
check.
14th. Yeah, because if we
Yeah.
have anybody in the Trek community, maybe they can meet you at your end date
Yes.
and
You
help
need to get like
congratulate
a
you. And
what is this? The banners that football players run through?
yeah,
You need one of those to cycle through.
yeah.
I know my mom will be there. But
Well, that's
yeah, everyone
awesome.
else is welcome too, for sure.
Yeah, you have to get a teal shirt to cross the quote
Mm-hmm.
unquote finish line.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
should.
for sure.
Yeah, April 14th. April
April
14th.
14th. All right.
Cool. So yeah, anybody there, make a banner. You
Yeah,
can ride
be
through.
there, poster, something, cheer them on,
Water,
and
bananas, something, yeah.
yeah, and then Anthony, if they are there, you got to snap a picture with them so we can see
Oh
and
yeah.
help celebrate with you. Will you be kind of logging it or anything throughout your journey on your social media?
Oh yeah. I was much more active before my nephew's diagnosis, and then I just got really just depressed about it. I didn't want to do
Yeah.
anything social media wise. But yeah, I will have a daily vlog throughout my ride throughout the trip. So yeah, my content will be a lot more uh better, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll see something at least every day. My goal is to dedicate each day to someone with Tourette syndrome. So whether it's
Oh,
yeah, definitely. So
that's really cool.
I
Mm-hmm.
don't know that many people with Tourette syndrome. So I was kind of just looking at the TAA Instagram and I was just kind of looking through names and stuff. But yeah, I'm definitely going to dedicate each day to somebody, and each day is going to be dedicated to kind of everybody and my nephew. But
Yeah.
individually, I'll try to dedicate to somebody, and then so I'll be doing those posts, and then I'll definitely have some cool videos for sure. I'm definitely going to see a lot of cool things. I think a lot of things that most people will never be able to see unless they maybe do the same trip or they drive cross country. So I think I'm definitely going to see a lot of cool things, and I'll try my best to get everything on video. But yeah, I'm definitely going to do a lot of I'll be more active for sure on social media as I'm riding through. Right now, I just kind of post my training. Uh,
Yeah.
I don't know if I told you, Brittany, but I'm also getting my doctorate right now, so super busy with
No.
that.
Or
And I'll be,
just low key, just, low key. I'm also just so
Oh,
impressive.
wow.
Not only
no,
can I
no.
bike ride thousands of miles, but I'm getting my doctorate. No, no
Well,
sweat.
I'll be bringing my laptop with me, so I'm working on my dissertation right now. So
That's wild.
yeah, so I don't want to fall behind in my on my dissertation. So I'll be bringing that with me, and when I'm done writing, I'll be cracking that open and working on that too. So
You are such a motivated person. All I'm thinking about is like, man, I don't even like I feel like, and I love doing this,
mhm.
but I feel like it took a lot for me to get off the couch after working all day just to come into this other room in my same home.
Right.
Hello. That's why y'all got the meeting invite 10 minutes before it started because I was laying down. Yeah. Wow.
And
What
I
is
thought
the
I was an
name?
active person, but I don't think I am anymore after talking to you.
You can be,
Like
you
it could
can
be
be.
raining outside. And I'm like, do I really want to go downstairs inside and work out? It's raining and crappy out.
Yeah, exactly. For real. What is the name of the planet that you're from?
Oh
What is
no,
what
no.
is
I'm
the
just
with Superman? Is it the same one? Where he come from?
no, you guys are too nice. I just feel like I've always had it at a young age, I've always just tried and squeezed every drop of potential I have. I don't want to waste any potential that I have. And I've always had like one speed where it's just 110 miles an hour. I have to be doing like different things at the same time, and sometimes I feel
Mm,
overwhelmed for sure when I have an assignment due and I got to ride 50 miles and, I work full time as well. So it's just kind of like, but that keeps me busy, that keeps me going, and I feel like I owe it to my family, to people with Tourette syndrome. I want to do good by them, and I just want to squeeze every drop of potential that I have, and that's what I tell my students. So I'm an academic counselor, and that's why I tell my students, don't just settle for a C grade. You try to get the A, go to tutoring, ask for help, and or are you really studying as much as you can? So try and do your best in everything, and that's I have to feel like I have to set the example, set the standard for myself. So because no one's gonna do it for me, right? Like no one's gonna wake me up to go train, or go to the gym, or to go out and ride in 100-degree heat or in the freezing rain. I got to do it because if I don't, I'm gonna be in trouble cycling across the country. I may not make
right.
it if I don't train for it, so I don't want any issues with that. So and the whole doctorate thing was always like kind of a life goal, and it's just something that I've always wanted to do. And like I said, I think if we all have so much potential that we don't want to sell ourselves short. So that's just how I
Well,
look at it.
that's incredibly impressive
Yeah,
and
Yeah, you're too
awesome.
kind. Thank you, though. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
that's wild.
So
Like, what a way to advocate.
yeah, for real. And
Yeah.
I really do love going back to you saying you wanted to dedicate it to somebody with Tourette syndrome every day. That's really, really
Mhm.
cool. 45 days, you said?
It's be 40 riding days. So each riding day. So
Yeah.
yeah. So 40.
So we need 40 people that you can dedicate it to. So everybody listening, make sure you follow along so
Yeah.
that maybe you can be one of the people that he dedicates it to.
Yeah.
Um, and I want to go back to I know you talked about how you said there was always just something there that you wanted to do to fundraise and everything. Was there a particular reason you chose the TAA or anything like that? Like, did you always know about them? Did you come across them any specific way? Because they've been around for quite some time, and I didn't find out about them until I was an adult, until I was probably like in my early 20s, maybe.
No, yeah, great question. I had no idea about TAA like growing up or anything, but I was like, let me search. There's got to be something out there for them. So just on like Instagram, I found them. And if they didn't have anything, I would have been really surprised. I probably would have done, probably like a cancer or Lou Gehrig's disease or something like that. But
Yeah.
because I have Tourette's, I would have kind of, that's what I really wanted to do. I would have not felt the same. But with my
Yeah.
nephew's diagnosis, so he was diagnosed with brain cancer. Unfortunately, it was really a devastating news this past October. It came out of absolutely nowhere. So I'm also writing for him as well. But yeah, so writing for him and then the TAA because I have Tourette's and I
Mhm.
know some people that also have Tourette's as well. So I wanted to raise money for them because I know they're a great organization and they use the money to help advocate and hopefully get some better treatment options and things like
Yeah.
that, better research options. So
That's really cool. So if you remember or if you don't mind, I'd love to hear about because you said that you were diagnosed when you were a child. Do you remember any of like your first tics or any of that kind of process or anything when you were younger?
yeah, definitely. I never felt too different than my classmates or my friends, but I always my parents said they noticed different things. I remember going to the hospital and there was a Tourette's like specialist doctor, and they had diagnosed me and it was like out of the blue and I was like, what is this? Because no one in my family had it.
Yeah.
But I remember always clearing my throat. I would do this weird like hand thing, and then
Hmm.
I would always like do this blinking thing, um, just little things like that. But it was never anything like verbal or anything like that, verbal tics. So that's why I never really felt different. And people would look at me and say, "Oh, he's just having like an eye twitch. That's not Tourette syndrome or something like that." But
Mm.
so I never really felt different. But yeah, the doctor diagnosed me, so it's something that I've grown out of a lot of the tics, thankfully. I feel very fortunate and blessed. Yeah, I don't take it for granted at all, so because I know some folks, they have it for life and it's more severe cases and things like that. So it's it's just been something that like if I don't tell someone that I have it, they'll never know.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless they,
Gotcha.
like I said, if you were in the same room with me for like 30 minutes and you just looked at me, you would see me doing like weird little takes. Yeah, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I think when I was a little bit younger, a lot of people didn't pick up on them, and people now will even ask me, not a lot, but somebody asked me, like, well, I knew you when you were younger, I didn't notice like any of this, so why is it so prominent now or whatever? Now, mind you, that was also somebody that I knew from my dance world where I did not tick, so it was very easily for me. I'm like, well, of course you didn't notice it. That was my happy place, but one you like you said, if you're around somebody, they're around you for a longer period of time, you're going to pick up on it.
uh,
And for me, I'm one of the people that it got worse for as I got older, and so I always had to explain that to people. And I feel like at first, like my brain first went to defensive
hmm,
when they asked me that, like, well, why didn't you do it when you were a kid? But I
Hmm.
think, or not when I was a kid, but like when I was around you, I've never noticed it.
Yeah.
But I think they were just asking in a kind way. But I think my brain instantly went to defensive mode because
Yeah.
everybody online is so invested in
Hmm.
being, well, that's fake. Like I got a comment today about it.
that's crazy.
And
Yeah.
I ended up having to block the person. I mean, it's normally that's what I do anyways, but it was my fault because I commented back and I normally don't do that. But that I will only allow myself one comment back if I ever do it. I'm like, if they come back at me, we're not arguing. I won't do
Right.
it. It's a promise to myself. I will not go there. So it's gonna get deleted, blocked. But because they always think they have these like gotcha moments. And
Hmm.
so I think that's where my brain was first like defensive. But I mean, I came back nicely because I remember like this is somebody that you do actually know. I think they're actually curious.
Hmm.
But there is that defensiveness in me, I think, still. But I think it's just because that's come with my advocating online and just trolls.
Right.
So many of
Yeah.
them.
That's that's terrible to hear. I would never assume that people would do that. That they would just assume that it's fake, or they think that you're lying about it, or that's
Oh,
not what
yeah.
you're saying. Wow,
Yeah. Like, especially when
that's
I
crazy.
have like videos where my ticks are more prominent.
Uh,
Or like I have a video where I captured a tick attack because I was recording multiple videos in one day. And so I had the camera
Mm.
up because I was about to record another video and they think they have this gotcha moment. Like, oh, and the camera just happens to be on you just perfectly. I'm like, if you read the words on the video, it literally says, I was already recording multiple
Hmm.
videos this day. blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
So, but and it's just not worth like getting into. Like if you
Right.
can't, if you don't have basic reading skills,
Right.
then I guess I don't know what
Or
to tell you.
context clues.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and that's what I wrote back on my comment. I was like, apparently you need some literary help, so let me help you in the video. And then I went into it, and then I went and corrected all of the grammar mistakes that they did.
I love that. Is my
And I said,
number one comeback is it's actually your
Yeah.
you apostrophe re.
Yeah, I was like, hope this helps. Have the day you deserve. And then they came back with something stupid, so it all got deleted anyway. But
That's hilarious.
Dang, that's crazy. Yeah, I'm sorry you had it seems like you frequently have to deal with that. That's terrible. So
Yeah. It's like a common. I get what Brittany means when, like, I know what you mean when you say, like, as soon as people, even if they mean well, there's just something about the phrase,
yes.
well, why didn't, or like,
Yes.
well, then how come, then anytime somebody starts that, you're already like feeling like they don't believe you. And it's not that they don't, I can't say it's not that they don't believe you, but it could be possible that they don't believe you. They just might be like, oh, well, then how come I never saw you before? Like, just in a curiosity of like, is it something that just spontaneously happened or whatever?
Right.
You know, they don't know.
Right.
They don't have the words for that. But I don't know. There's something about the way people word stuff sometimes that already kind of puts you on the defense, because I've had that about other things as well in my life too. And you feel like you have to prove yourself.
Yeah.
For some reason. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like also we probably get it a lot more since we post like content about it, because there's people that, you know, love to troll or just say some dumb stuff. So
Right.
it is definitely,
they get like, that's like their whole mission in life is to make people angry online. And it's just crazy to me. I'm like, what? What do
Is
you
it one of those,
do?
like, is it one of those like fake accounts with no picture, or is it actually something?
Sometimes, yeah.
yeah.
Most
Sometimes
of the
it is a
time.
picture of like some older random person. Yeah.
Yeah. Today there was a photo, but like I went to the thing and it was like 2 subscribers and all they had was like a 6 playlist favorite list. I'm like, okay, guy.
Yeah.
Or other times I just tell myself, I'm like, Brittany, it's probably like some 11-year-old. And if not, they're acting like they're 11-year-old.
Right.
They're 11. So why don't we just not fight with a child?
Right.
So,
Right.
but it was also just something I told myself, because before I started making YouTube videos, like that was my promise to myself. Like, we will not fight with people on the internet. We will defend ourselves every once in a while because we are allowed to. And a lot of the time when I make my defensive videos, it's in defense of other people, because I get more angry when I see it happen to other people in the community than I do for myself. Like, I would rather take the brunt of it. I don't want it, but I would rather take the brunt of it than anybody else.
Right.
But I told myself I won't argue with them. Like, that was my promise to myself that I made, I don't know, almost a long time. And every time that first video pops up in my memories, it's so embarrassing. But I can't take it down. It was my first video. So
you guys are doing a great job. So I mean, this whole podcast platform and what do you guys do online? I mean, I commend you for what you do. So
well,
there's some positivity from me today. So
yes, I mean,
a lot of it has to go to Ben too. Kudos to Ben for starting this podcast and giving Janelle and I the opportunity to be able to interview people and work together on this, because I couldn't do it alone. That's for sure.
Yeah, me either, for sure. But yeah, I mean, I guess, where can people find you? How can people support you? Can you give us the dates again, like the starting date, ending date, where you're starting, where you're ending?
Yeah.
And where people can find you to follow along.
Where they can donate to your cause too.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks so much. So I'm officially really like in the countdown. I got the end of January and then February, which is really short month. And I'm going to be driving down to San Diego on March 1st. And I'm going to be officially taking off from San Diego on March 2nd, which is a Sunday.
I feel like I just got butterflies in my stomach for you.
Thank you. I'm ready to go now. I want to go now. I'm like, I'm so excited for this.
Good.
And I'm tired of training too, but I just want to get out there. But yeah, absolutely. So I'm officially in the countdown. I'm actually getting my bike tuned up as we speak. I'm getting my bike back. I got to order a few more parts, like spare tires, extra chain, all that good stuff. So I still have a lot to do on that front. But yeah, I mean, I would love, if you are watching this, to follow my journey. Message me. I would love to get motivational, messages, say like, hey, keep going, because I know it's going to be a grind for sure, a mental grind, physical grind. So my DMs are open for positive messages. But my
Cool.
Instagram is so Anthony, ANTHONY underscore cycles with a S, uh, the number 4TS. So Anthony underscore cycles 4TS.
Nice.
Would love to have you join me on my journey. Like I said, my content is a little bit slow right now just because with school work and my training.
Well,
But
yeah,
it's gonna be it's gonna be
because
ramped up.
school, dissertation, yeah.
I'm gonna do like a daily like highlight video each day, and then I'm also gonna do my best to depending on, hopefully I have internet in some of these areas, so
Oh yeah, I didn't
to
think about
also
that.
dedicate each day to someone with Tourette syndrome. So so yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. You want to live vicariously through me if you've never been to a certain part of the country. I'm gonna see a lot of cool things and post as much as I can. So it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Nice. And
Nice.
so you are trying to raise funds as
Oh
well,
yes,
just for reminding people,
that's right.
because this isn't just for the TAA, but it's also for your nephew. You're dividing that up, splitting
Yes.
that down the middle, which makes a lot of sense and very
Hmm.
admirable for you as well. So please, please let us know, and all of our viewers know, and listeners, I should say, more or less, where can they go to donate to you, or are you doing anything specific that they can, I don't want to say buy into, but
Mm,
maybe
Give, donate,
yeah.
definitely.
invest.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
purchase something if you're selling something to help, anything.
Definitely. So I'm not on like TikTok. I don't know if that was banned or if it's back, but I'm not on TikTok or anything. So I'm only just on the Instagram, and in my bio I have a link that the TAA actually set up for me, which is great.
Oh,
So
nice.
if you want to donate, it's in the bio of my Instagram. I haven't put my nephew's GoFundMe up yet. I will be shortly. But
Okay.
yeah, so if you want to donate to my nephew's GoFundMe for his medical expenses, or the TAA. Those will both be in the link in my Instagram bio. I will always be posting about ways you could donate as well. So the best way to reach out or to donate is to follow me on Instagram. I'm not on Facebook or anything like that, TikTok. So just
I don't
Instagram
blame
would be
you.
the best way.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
Cool. Cool. Cool.
But we'll make sure too that we will make sure that we have your social handle and those links and stuff in the description as well. So
thank you.
anybody listening, make sure you check out the description of the episode. And if you're watching this on our YouTube, anything like that, just look in the comment section or the
Hmm.
description as well for that. We'll make sure that we link that up so everybody can reach out if they want to reach out. And yeah, definitely send messages of encouragement March 4th through February 14th.
March 2nd
Second.
Oh,
through April 14th.
wow. I F that. That didn't even make any sense. You started, I
You're
just had you
backwards.
bike riding for a year.
I just picked up on that. That's fine.
Oh,
That
sorry.
it probably is gonna feel like that for him.
Here I
Yeah.
am, like trying to recap it all. So March
okay.
2nd to April 14th.
There you go.
Yeah.
So get your
Okay.
taxes done early, and then if you're looking forward to come out and meet me at the finish line, I'm gonna jump in the Atlantic Ocean for sure. So
There you go. That's
Absolutely, you need
perfect.
to.
Everybody meet him in the Atlantic Ocean
Yes.
and bring some signs
And you gotta get like the shirts, like the spandex shirts the bikers wear and stuff with your cause on the back.
yeah.
yeah, that's a good idea. I'm not I have the shorts, but I'm not into the like the full on spandex. Like some
Oh,
cyclists, they
that's okay.
got
Any
like
shirt.
everything head to toe. I usually
Mm-hmm.
just wear like just like a regular shirt. But it's too tight for me. The shirts are too tight for me, but the
I
shorts are
feel
great.
that. Centralized, I feel that. Then just get a normal shirt with your cause on the back so people can see when they
Yeah.
see you biking.
Definitely.
That'd be good.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, is there anything else that you want to tell us about your journey, whether it's with Tourette syndrome, anything you want to, any kind of message you want to say with everybody else out there, or just anything else you want to share with us? I don't want to cut you off if there's anything else that maybe we didn't get to.
No, thanks so much for having me on. And again, like whoever's listening, go ahead and give me a follow. It's going to be a really good time. And if you send me a message, I'll do my best to send you a message back. And if you want to be one of those people I dedicate a day to, because right now I have a few people that have already reached out, and I kind of came up with the idea to dedicate a day for them. But if you want to be one of those days, or you know someone who has Tourette syndrome, I'm more than happy to do that, just to kind of brighten someone's day. Like if someone sees that I cycled 100 miles for them, hopefully that puts like a smile on their face. just for, a few short moments. But I think we covered it all. Yeah, I'm super excited. Been training really hard for this. I don't want to let you guys down. The whole TAA community. I'm going to be thinking about you all the time throughout the ride, and I just want to make everybody proud. And I really appreciate everyone's support from Janelle, Brittany. I mean, everyone I've been working with at TAA has been really amazing. And I just want to do something really special and hopefully put the smile on people's faces. And I wish I could dedicate. Well, it is dedicated to everybody, but I wish I had more than 40 days. I wish I could dedicate to everybody with Tourette's, but I hopefully that helps somebody.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It definitely will. And bringing awareness is incredibly important to this entire community. So thank you for what you're doing. And thank you for being here with us today.
No, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. I guess, yeah, check out this episode. We'll put the information about Anthony's social media handle as well as the links for where to donate in our description. And yes, we look forward to seeing you all. Not seeing you all, but hoping that you listen to us again soon. Okay, we're gonna go now.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Bye.